The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Running with Montgomery from the pistol. And he's going to get this pretty close to the first down marker at the Giants' 14. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. Oh, Montgomery just unable to twist free as they hit him short of the line to gain. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. They run with Patterson. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's brought down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Patterson on the carry. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears have taken the early lead. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. This defense for the Bears, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
A first down carry for Barkley.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
From the 44, Jones. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. On 2nd and 12, Jones eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Now Jones. And that is incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So the Giants now are going to turn it over to their field goal unit. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there, because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things, because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They are riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings, because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
To throw on 2nd and 6. From into the secondary, past the 40, and all the way up to the 45-yard line.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Bears.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. 1st and 10 from. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keon Crossen. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They'll run on 1st down. Barkley has some space here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in the game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Throwing, Jones. Being chased out left. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Looking left side of him, he's got a man. That's Griffin. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Looking to throw from. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So a PI call going to cost him there defensively. What did you see?
Well, I think it's the right call, partner, because sometimes we'll see officials kind of let them play. But by the letter of the law, that's definitely a penalty.
From off of play action. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Montgomery is into the end zone for a Bears touchdown. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Winless to start the year at 0-2, and now they get the Thursday night game here in Week 3. So, I don't know, does the fact that they're back out so quickly, Charles, help or hurt their cause?
Oh, I say unequivocally help, because you always want a Thursday game earlier in the schedule rather than later, just because the grind of the season hasn't really set in yet. But also, if they can get a win here, they get a mini open week, recharge a little bit, and carry some fresh momentum into the rest of the season.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jones. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
On 1st down, Barkley. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jones. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Looking to throw. Jones. And he's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
A 1st and 10 here. And, you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster, 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way, and the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Oh, Mooney, what a catch. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
Boy, that completion comes with a high degree of difficulty, especially on the catch. Had to look that one in one-handed, able to do so, and ends up picking up a first down as well.
Well, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead is down to 4. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive as they take over here with 11 seconds remaining. Going for the deep ball. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there, you throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A huge play there for Chicago. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. A give. This is Montgomery. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Off the play fake. Here's Fromm. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Here's Patterson, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bears take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. Open man right side is Ingram. That catch good for only a couple. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on it. Hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
Jones now from the gun on 3rd down. And a throw right sideline is complete. Now he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the 1st down.
A run by Barkley going to go backwards as he's going to lose right around 3 yards here.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Back to throw. Jones forced out to his left. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 14. Here's a give to Barkley, and he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Looking to throw. Jones. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back to throw. Jones toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Barkley And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And this time he is in.
Yes.
Saquon Barkley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants have got it back to a 1-score game. Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. Jones throwing for it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Popular down near the goal line. Quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was. One of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails because they had it going pretty good last time too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
3 yards remain for 2nd down. He'll keep it himself, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. If they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Try and push the pile. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. Here comes the Bears punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. And to give this time to the tailback. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame woofing has turned into results.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It is caught left side by the tight end Parham. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
They'll run on first down. Barkley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard. Again, it's Barkley. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 61 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Giants have taken the lead. So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. They're going to run it with Barkley. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here at this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this fourth quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Throwing on 2nd and 14. From. And he's got him. Got his man on the end round. Complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Now Fromm. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Montgomery. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Fromm. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. Montgomery back to the ground. And he'll go down at the 28. Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. So now this one's going to rest on the foot of their second-year kicker. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So now this one's going to rest on the foot of their second-year kicker. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And no, wide left. It's no good. And a tough finish to this one. Well, Charles, coaches always talk after losses about putting that behind you and moving on. But in a case like this, when you could have won it with a chip shot field goal and you miss it, that is going to sting for a little while, isn't it?
Some are tougher to put behind you than others, right? We always talk about compartmentalizing. What is the rule coach always about? 24-hour rule after a game, and then you move on. That's tough because that was a very makeable field goal. In fact, I think you and I were both just shocked that he didn't knock it through the post, and they end up walking off the field losers.
So for the Giants, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.